I just sold a duplex here in Vancouver and it took us a very long time to get it done. And the entire reason came down to one thing that did not show up anywhere in the listing. On paper, it was a 3-bedroom with a mortgage helper, which is exactly what a family shopping for a duplex is looking for. But only 2 of those bedrooms were actually upstairs. The third one was down in the basement, tucked inside the suite, and the moment a family walked through and realized one of their kids would be sleeping a full floor away behind a rental, the buyer pool for that home shrank down to almost nothing. And I want to show you how real this is because I just pulled the Vancouver sales numbers for this year, and so far only 10 2-bedroom duplexes have sold across the entire region, while 146 3-bedroom duplexes traded in that exact same window. That is roughly 14 times fewer buyers for the 2-bedroom, and here is the part that is going to catch a lot of people off guard because a so-called 3-bedroom with that third room stuck down in the basement is competing with those 10, not those 146. And most owners do not find that out until the day they try to sell. My name is Kyle Mark. Thanks for checking out this video. If you are enjoying it, make sure that you give it a like and subscribe. If you actually want to sit down and talk, make sure you book into my calendar. It's in the first link in the description. Now, the reason I'm making this video is that almost everybody buying a townhouse or duplex right now is doing it for the same reason. They need more space, and this is the most affordable way in this market to do it outside of a detached property. And it's a completely reasonable place to start. But the thing most people are not thinking about is who buys the home from them when they are done with it. Because you are very likely not living in this place forever, and at some point you're going to need to sell it, and the layout you pick today decides how big that future buyer pool is. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 things. First, the bedroom math on duplexes and townhouses and what the actual sales data says. Second, the fake 3-bedroom trap that is quietly catching people, which is the exact thing that happened on my listing. And third, the floor plan red flags that turn a perfectly nice looking home into one that sits while everything around it sells. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to give you one single question you can ask yourself standing in any townhouse or duplex that tells you in about 10 seconds whether you're buying into a deep buyer pool or a tiny one. So let me start with the bedroom math because the numbers genuinely surprised me even when I pulled them. Number 1 is the duplex story. Those 10 sales I opened with on the 2-bedroom side, and the median of them sold for around $1.55 million. So the 3-bedroom is not just easier to sell, it is carrying a premium of more than $250,000 over the 2-bedroom, and the market is voting with its feet because more than 9 out of every 10 duplex sales this year were the 3-bedroom. If you own the 2-bedroom, you are not fighting for a slice of the market, you are fighting for a sliver of it. Number 2 is the townhouse version of the same story, and it is a little more subtle, so I want to be fair about it. On the townhouse side, the gap in how many sold is actually pretty close. 106 2-bedrooms against 113 3-bedrooms. So the 2-bedroom townhouse is much healthier and more liquid, but the issue is buyers who are looking for more space and going from that condo to the townhouse, yes, they are transacting, but they're going to get into a world of hurt when they go to sell because it is a very difficult product to eventually move, and you're going to see it when we look at the prices here. And you're going to see it when we look at the prices here because the median 2-bedroom townhouse sold around $1.18 million and the median 3-bedroom sold around $1.35 million. So even when the 2-bedroom sells just fine, you are sitting under a ceiling that is roughly $170,000 lower, and that ceiling follows you all the way to the resale. And here's the part that really proves what buyers want, because you would expect the more expensive home to take longer to sell. That is just common sense, but it does not work that way here. On average, across both the duplexes and the townhouse side, the 3-bedroom is selling within about 4 or 5 days of the cheaper 2-bedroom. Even though it costs well into 6 figures more, buyers are looking at that higher price tag and moving on it just as fast. And honestly, there is no clearer signal than that of the layout of people who actually want it. Because when somebody will pay more and still not wait around, that is demand talking and shows you where the market is and shows you what your future buyer pool wants. Number 3 is the trap that I think is the most important thing in this entire video because it is the one people genuinely do not see coming, and it is exactly what happened on the duplex I just sold. It is the fake 3-bedroom. The listing says 3-bed, the search filter counts it as a 3-bedroom. You feel good about it, but if that 3rd bedroom is down in the basement inside a suite, then to the family that is actually going to buy this home from you one day, it is a 2-bedroom with a rental downstairs. They are not counting that room. A family wants their bedrooms together on the same level where a parent can hear a kid at night, and the second that it is not the case, you have quietly dropped yourself out of the 146 and into the 10 without even realizing it. So when you are looking at a 3-bedroom duplex or a townhouse, that question is not how many bedrooms does this listing claim, it is how many real bedrooms are up on the bedroom level itself. Number 4 is the rest of the floor plan, because bedrooms are only the start. And these are the things that thin out your buyer pool in ways that are very hard to fix. The first one is no bathroom on the main floor. If a home makes you climb a flight of stairs every single time you or a guest needs a washroom, that is a real problem for a lot of buyers. And it is a deal breaker for anybody with mobility issues or aging parents, or even just a family that does not want guests wandering up past the bedrooms. People want a powder room or a full bath on the main living level for themselves and for company, and a home without one quietly loses a whole segment of buyers. You can even pair that with 2-bedroom type condos that only have 1 bathroom on the main floor. You're going to want to have just as many bathrooms as bedrooms if you're looking at condos in that space. The second floor plan issue is the kitchen, and what you are looking for here is open concept, or at the very least the ability to make it open concept easily. The closed off galley kitchen tucked at the back of the home, walled off from where the family actually lives. This is a layout from another era, and today's buyer does not want it. So when you walk a place, look at whether the kitchen already opens into the living and dining space, and if it does not, look at whether that one wall is something you could take down without it being a structural nightmare, because that flexibility is worth a lot to the next buyer. And then there are a few that are very specific to how we build here in Vancouver, and these are the ones I would add to your checklist that the out-of-town videos will never mention. The first is the vertical layout, because so many of our townhomes are stacked 3, even 4 levels, with the living space marooned on the second floor and bedrooms scattered above and below. That is a lot of stairs, and stairs quietly age out 2 of your best future buyer groups at once: young families with toddlers and downsizers who want everything on fewer levels. The second is parking, because in the city, a townhouse or a duplex with a single tandem spot or no real garage is going to lose a family that needs 2 vehicles, and that matters more here than almost anywhere. And the third is the building envelope itself. I spent years in construction before I even sold a home, so when I walk into an older strata, duplex, or a townhome, I'm looking hard at the building, because a pending special levy or a building that was never properly rain screened is a kind of red flag that an informed Vancouver buyer will run from, and it does not show up in a pretty listing photo. Now here's the thing, and this is the part that ties all of it together, because in a different market, none of this mattered nearly as much. Back in 2021 or 2022, a home with a quirky layout still got multiple offers because there was nothing to choose from and everybody was desperate. That is not the market we are in. We have been in a soft market here for nearly 2 years, and there is a lot of selection. And what I have learned watching this play out is that the moment a home has any kind of red flag, buyers will not even bother giving you a lowball offer. They just move on to the next one. I have another listing right now, a loft that I have shown well over 100 times, and we have received exactly 1 offer on it. And when you dig into why, it comes right back down to the layout. This is how unforgiving this market is when the floor plan is not right. And honestly, this is the part I really want you to sit with, because I think it is where people are genuinely getting hurt. You cannot control when life happens. You might buy this place planning to stay 7 years, and then a job or a baby or a parent who needs help changes everything in year 2, and now you have to sell whether the market is hot or not. The people who are losing the most in this cycle are not the ones who paid a little too much. They're the ones who bought a home with some kind of built-in issue. A layout you have to explain, a bedroom in the wrong place, a red flag you talked yourself past on the way in, and then life forced them to sell into a market that had every other option to choose from. That is the trap, and it is completely avoidable on the way in, especially in this market. So here's the one question I promised you, the one you can ask standing in any townhouse or duplex in about 10 seconds. Could a family afford genuinely live here without compromise? 3 real bedrooms together on one level, a bathroom on the main floor, and a kitchen that either opens to the living space or easily could. If the answer is yes, you are buying into the 146, the deep end of the buyer pool, and you are protected on resale. If the answer is no, you are buying into the 10, and you had better be getting a real discount for it, because you are going to be handing them the exact problem to the next person someday. Let me leave you with the actual play, because I never want to just hand you a list of problems if you're out shopping right now. Step 1 is to stop trusting the bedroom number on the listing and count the bedrooms that are actually on the bedroom level, because that is the number your future buyer is going to count. Look at the floor plan and confirm. Step 2 is to walk the main floor and confirm 2 things every single time: a washroom on the main level and a kitchen that is open or easily openable. And if either one is missing, treat it as a price issue, not a maybe. And step 3, before you ever write an offer, have your agent pull the real sold data on the exact configuration, how many of this specific layout actually sold and what they sold sold for, so you know going in whether you are buying into a deep buyer pool or a thin one. In a market with this much selection, the home with no red flags is the one that wins, and the home with a layout you have to talk somebody through is the one that sits. So buy the floor plan that the next family is going to fight for, not the one you're going to have to apologize for.